Welcome into the snookersystem.com's YouTube channel, the place where you subscribe for hints, tips and loads of videos to help you play the game better. But if you want to play the game to the best of your ability, you need to head over to snookersystem.com, the world's first online academy where we take you through a structured course teaching you how to play the game from the real basics right the way through to advanced break building. And there's so much more over there for our members. So head on over to snookersystem.com and we'll see you there. But in this video, we're going to be looking at cushion shots. How do you play cushion shots? What do you need to change in your setup, in your stance, and in your cue action to enable you to play these shots with success and more consistency? Okay, so let's just go right the way back to how we hold the cue and where do we hold the cue. When we see a lot of people coming through for coaching, we see them holding the cue right at the end of the butt. A lot of people think that this cutaway in the butt is where you're supposed to hold the cue, but that's not really the case. What we want is we want your grip hand to be hanging directly below your elbow. The reason for that is we want to be able to have a nice backswing and a good follow through into your chest. If you're holding the cue at the end, what's going to happen is that your grip is going to be behind your elbow. That's going to mean that your backswing is going to be limited and you're going to have loads of follow through. And that is going to affect the way you play the shot. Cueing straight is going to be a problem. So you really want to be coming up the cue with your grip. Over at the snookersystem.com, we take you through this in massive detail and we show you the precise system that you need to do to get yourself into the right position. So head over to snookersystem.com, subscribe, and you'll have all of those videos at your disposal. For me, I know I need to be holding the cue here. I've played this game a very long time. And that will mean when I come in behind the cue ball, I'm just going to pop the cue ball here and show you. So in this position, when I come in and I put the tip to the white, you can see that my grip hand is directly below my elbow. That means I can come back and I can go through into my chest and play the shot how I want to. With a cushion shot, however, there is a problem. Normally my bridge hand will be 11 inches from the cue ball, but of course, when I'm tied against the cushion, if I'm 11 inches away, my bridge hand's hanging in thin air. I can't play the shot. So I have to get my bridge a lot closer to the cue ball. Now what that means is if I'm holding it in the same position with my grip and I have a much shorter bridge, what that is going to mean, short bridge, grip in the normal place, it's now behind vertical. So what you have to do when you play cushion shots is you need to come up the cue with your grip. That will bring it into that vertical position. Again, over at snookersystem.com, we show you that in huge detail. So come up the cue with your grip hand. That will put you into the vertical position. But now what do we do with this shot? Do we form a bridge as normal on top of the cushion? Well, that means we're going to be striking down on the ball. If you strike down and you're not perfectly centered, you're going to put some swerve on the ball and potting that red is going to be really difficult. So you want to get the cue as level as you possibly can. So to do that, you want it to be running pretty much along the top of the cushion. I can't play the shot like that though because I'm not holding onto the cue. So there are two ways in which you can do this. One way is to put your hand, the palm of your hand on the edge of the table, allowing the cue to run along your index finger and pinching it in with your thumb. That's one way to do it, and that way you can cue through, hopefully in a nice straight line. The other way to do it is by forming a loop. This time, again, cue goes on top of the cushion, cue runs along the middle finger, and you loop over with your index finger, pinching them together, again, being able to play the cue through in a nice straight line. What you choose to do is really up to you. Play around with both of them and see what feels comfortable. For me, I prefer the first option, which is where I run it along my index finger and pinch in with my thumb. So these shots are harder. Obviously, we can only strike the top of the cue ball. You can only play with topspin. The objective is to pot the ball, quite frankly. Don't try and do too much with the cue ball. You just want to pot the ball and give yourself the next shot. If you're on a colour, in this instance potting a red, then great. If you're not, play a good safety shot. Okay, so just to recap that, I want you to come up the cue with your grip hand to get to that vertical position. It will feel more comfortable than if you're behind vertical. And then focus on your technique, standing square behind the line. All of this is covered in snookersystem.com. Don't forget to head over there and subscribe. Focus on the red. In behind, cue goes on the cushion, still focused on the red, dropping onto the shot. Index finger and thumb pinching the cue. Now I just want to focus on the line that I'm playing the shot, and when I'm ready, push through and pot the red. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for new videos, and head over to snookersystem.com, and we'll look forward to seeing you there.